election. But they did, and we have achievement awards for Elizabeth Morgan Allen and Lisa M. Benya.
As president of the Wadsworth Rotary Club, it is a sincere pleasure to award two $500 scholarships. The Rotary Club uses the following criteria in the selection process: the student's character, activities, service, and achievements. Our first recipient is 15th in her class and has a 3.96 grade point average. She is active in the Latin Club, National Honor Society, Pep Club, Ski Club, cheerleading, and she is a statistician for track and cross country. Our first recipient is Leanne Tittle. Our second recipient is 31st in his class and has a 3.40 grade point average. He is active in baseball, football, National Honor Society, National Forensic League, Off-Broad Street Players, and he has received Suburban Conference honors. Our second recipient is Eric Richards. Congratulations.
As president of the Wadsworth Lions Club, and on behalf of Tom Gertner, its scholarship chairman, I wish to make three $500 scholarship awards to deserving seniors who are attending college this year. I wish to recognize Tom Gertner, who was not only chairman of this committee, but worked very hard at the Lions Club auction to raise this money. The winners this year of the scholarship from the Lions Club are David Perrin, Mark Lutz, and Leanne Kalbetzer. Would they please come forward?
The Wadsworth Running Club is proud to announce the start of a scholarship fund for a male and female cross-country and track athlete. We will use the proceeds from our 4-mile classic run that we put on every March. Our selection of the athletes will be based on the following requirements: must be a senior at Wadsworth High School, plans of further education at college, junior college, or technical schools, must have competed in high school track or cross country, and preferably both. Longevity, that is, preference should be given to those who have served their school and their sport of running longer. 8 seasons would be the maximum one could have, like 4 cross country and 4 track seasons. Dedication, that is what the person approached to the sport. Is it wholehearted or just so-so? What self-discipline is shown in a person's off-season training program? Is this person's overall character and attitude such as to represent the Wadsworth Running Club in a most positive manner, such as leadership and enthusiasm on and off the track? We discuss these requirements with your coaches and make our final decisions. Our 4-mile race gets bigger and better every year, and if we get continued and more support from the local merchants, the dollar amount that we can offer will be larger every year. We hope in the future we can give 2 scholarships to scholarship money to more than 2 people. Now to present the awards to the 1986 winners will be this year's race director, who worked real hard to make our race a big success, Mr. Kurt Wall.
At this time, would John Uzichka and Beth Morris come up to the stand, please?
Good morning. The Winifred B. Young Memorial Scholarship is a fund that was started many years ago by a former Wadsworth student. Each year, the scholarship is awarded to a young person of high character. It is one of the last scholarships chosen by the administration because we try to give it to a person that has not received any other type of scholarship. This year, it is going to be awarded to Miss Becky Denning.
The next awards are to be given to deserving students for their excellence in education. The following people will present these awards: Mr. Gary Havens, the National Math Exams; Mr. Joe Gaines, the National Forensic League; Mrs. June Lenson, Bruin Top Staffer; Mr. Elmer Larson, Outstanding Business Student. Dr. Joe Webb will present the awards of distinction on outstanding academic students, and Mr. Chuck Parsons will present the awards of vocational distinction and the Dustin Kramer Memorial.
Good morning. History has shown us that strength in mathematics and in technology is directly related to the social and cultural success, as well as the overall position of leadership with other member nations. It is clearly evident here at Wadsworth High School that our strength in mathematics and the sciences has escalated us among the best high schools in Ohio. This year has been no exception to the fine quality and tradition that has brought honor and recognition to Wadsworth High School as a comprehensive high school. We have competed in many activities as usual throughout the current school year. However, the National Math Exam and the Ohio Math Exam are probably the most highly recognized at the high school level. This year, the following 3 students performed truly outstanding on the National Math Exam and led our school to 58th place overall among over 500 high schools. And I would ask that they wait until I announce the Ohio State winners before they come up. Those following 3 students would include Seth Gammon, who placed 98th among 30,000 students in Ohio, which was the top 0.5% of all the students in the country. And complimenting Seth on this same exam was Rob Blake and Debbie West. On the Ohio State exam, we also have Seth Gammon as a winner, who scored in the top 1% of all students in Ohio. And complimenting him on this test and leading Wadsworth to 26th overall in the state would be the following 2 promising juniors, Chris Anderson and Nathan Dietz. I would ask then those 6 or 5 people to come forward for their certificate of recognition. I got all kinds of things for you. There you go. That. I've got some hard ones. I'm not going to pick. I think that's all right. Yeah. Congratulations.
70. Mine is, there you go. Congratulations. Nathan.
Congratulations again of all of these fine students, and thanks to all the other students who participated, who provided the stiff competition that enabled these students to excel. I would challenge the students next year to continue and lead and follow in their footsteps. Thank you. First, I would like to give credit to those people in the speech team and the National Forensic League which qualified to state this past year. I will read their names. If they are in the audience, I'd like them to stand and to be recognized. Those people who qualified to the state tournament in National Forensic League were Eric Richards, a senior, Nikki White, a sophomore, Susan Moffett, a sophomore, Tom Walker, senior, Dennis Gambo, a freshman, Michael Moffett, a junior, and Dan Walker, a junior. What I'd like to do now is to present to you the two national qualifiers from Wadsworth High School who have qualified to nationals in the National Forensic League representing the speech team. The first qualifier, this was his first year on the team. He went to Student Congress in his first time, and our hope was that he would learn and would get some experience for next year. But he went a little bit further than that, and he won. And so going to nationals, which will be in June, to Oklahoma, is Mr. Michael Moffett. Too loud? I don't need the mic, let's face it. The second national qualifier, a person who I think represents what the student body represents, and that is a lot of versatility. He's been on varsity sports, an excellent student, and for 4 years has competed for the speech team, going to state 3 out of those 4 years, and going to nationals and working very hard and giving a lot of dedication. In the category of humorous interpretation is the Vice President of the NFL, and that is Mr. Eric Richards. Thank you.
I would like to have an award to present to every member of the Bruin staff who have performed on occasion ably, but have always provided a laugh or two and a great joy to me. Unfortunately, the Beacon Journal provides only one plaque for a top staffer, and I am here to award that plaque this morning. The recipient of this award has been on the Bruin staff for 2 years. He has been an important part of the reason that the staff won a first place award at Kent State last year and a second place award this year. Among the reasons that he has won this award is the fact that he has, in these 2 years, shown concern for the entire publication, not just his job. He understands and exhibits the qualities of good journalism, the importance of truth. He has always understood the importance of and met deadlines, and has shown concern for all of the people that he worked with while doing an excellent individual job. It is my pleasure to present the Top Staffer Award to Craig Hart.
Morning. You lucky young people, young men and women, you're fortunate to live at a time when so many opportunities stare you in the face. Lucky that you may take advantage of the accumulated wisdom and experience of the generations that have passed before you. To these graduating seniors, I say that this is a time of your lives that you should recognize as a new day. And speaking of a new day, I would like to repeat a prayer that I like very much. O Lord, we thank Thee for this new day. We realize that this day is given to us to use as we will. We can waste it or we can use it for good. But what we do today is important because we are exchanging a day of our lives for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place something that we have traded for it. We want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that we shall not regret the price that we've paid for it. Amen. Down to the business of presenting an award to an outstanding student. I've had the pleasure of doing this since 1969. Gosh, I'm telling on myself here. Let's see, who is it? The winner is Lisa Sunji. Is she here? Lisa's this plaque we get permanent recognition on here. A little token of appreciation. Thank you.
I've got to fix this mic. It's driving me crazy. Is it still coming through there? I think it's coming through. It's worse. Good morning, seniors. It's nice to see you're here. I thought I would get a hand or something like that for those 3 days that I mentioned on the PA. I hope it passes because I hate to get back on the PA and tell you no. So I went out on a limb, believe me. Maybe I'll be truant that day. As you know, Wadsworth Senior High School stresses the importance of academic excellence. Therefore, it is appropriate that these students who have maintained a 3.25 grade point average for their 4 years in high school be recognized. The State Board of Education issues the award of distinction for students who have completed the Basic Studies curriculum. The Basic Studies curriculum includes 4 units of English, 3 units of math, which one must be algebra and 1 unit of geometry, 3 units of science, 2 units must be biology, chemistry, or physics, 3 units of social studies, and this includes 2 units of history and a half a unit of government or econ, and 3 units of foreign language. Would the following students please come forward to accept your award of distinction? I'm going to call you down in groups of 7, and then we'll continue on. So the first 7 is Mary Ballman, Virginia Boyce, Jerry Carino, Brian Pfaff, Greg Hart, John Hinkle, and Marissa Holman. Ready? Okay, congratulations. Okay. Where are you? Greg, I don't have you here. I'm trying to teach in alphabetical order. Here, let me give you a chance to do this. Good job. Jerry, congratulations. Good job. She's 5. Brian, 2. Greg, well, you getting all sorts of it. Congratulations. Okay, the next 7 who have maintained this 3.25 average for 4 years: Sharon Hauk, Ann Carolee, Elaine Ott, Rodney Lawrence, Christine Parmalee, Christopher Parmalee, David Perrin. Please come down. Then we have 3 more. Thomas Postak, Jeannie Riley, Wayne Stripe. Please come down. Jeannie, come on down, come on down. Make you walk up here. Okay. Good job. I'll give you a hug. Good job. What can I say, you know? Okay, now we're going to go into the outstanding academic students. This is the 2nd year for presenting our Outstanding Student Awards in one of the 5 major subject areas: math, foreign language, English, social studies, and science. The criteria for winning this award has been determined by the teachers in that particular department. These special students have been chosen by the teachers who instruct in that subject area. It is my honor to present these awards at this time. This student has placed very high on both the national and state math contests. He scored among the top 5% of all the participants on the state exam, along with leading our math team to an overall 26th place in state. This student has also won a $10,000 scholarship to Westminster University. Wadsworth High School's outstanding math student, Seth Gammett. Seth's going to have to figure out my income tax or something like that. It will come as no surprise that this is the outstanding French student of the year. His language skills are excellent because of the time he has spent in France.
He has enthusiastically shared his experiences with other language students and shows a great interest in the study of language in general, having also studied Spanish and Greek. Wadsworth High School's outstanding French student, Mike Moffett. While Mike's coming up, when I was talking to him when he first entered our school, I asked him about what he knew in French and so forth. In fact, and then he told me that he had taken all of his exams in his transcripts. He had taken all of his exams in French, and I think that was an outstanding accomplishment considering he'd never had a French course before. Very good. The outstanding Spanish student is completing his 4th year of language study. As an advanced language student, he has achieved a remarkable 99% average. He speaks Spanish fluently and uses Spanish inside and outside the classroom. Wadsworth High School's outstanding Spanish student, Keith Wright. I enjoy doing this because just imagine, all the teachers picking these students as being the outstanding student in a major subject area is really, really fantastic. The outstanding Latin student has maintained an A average for the last 3 years in Latin. Each year, he has placed on the Junior Classical League Convention test. In class, he has shown outstanding effort and achievement. Wadsworth High School's outstanding Latin student, Kyle Smith. The Social Studies faculty congratulates this year's winner and commends her for scholarship, citizenship, and hard work. Wadsworth High School's outstanding Social Studies student, Stacy Clark. This student is not only musically inclined, but a scientist as well. He has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement and in the field of science. He will continue his studies in science as a scholarship student in physics at Miami University. Wadsworth High School's outstanding science student, Brian Pfaff. This student is our best example this year of one who is both a leader and follower. He offers ready wit and is eager to involve himself in his own education. We salute him for his scholarship achievement, but especially we honor him for the enthusiasm and commitment he brings to the classroom scene.
Wadsworth High School's outstanding English student, Andy Yakovic.
Sitting on stage, it's interesting to note that there is an increasing glow of pride coming from my right, from the parents, and I think it certainly is something that we should all recognize. And I applaud you for being a member of an outstanding high school, all of you. Each year, our vocational teachers endeavor to select students to be nominated for the State Board of Education Award of Distinction in Vocational Education. They make their decision based on several criteria: how the students perform on the job, in the classroom, as well as in club activities. This year it is my honor to present the State Board of Education Award of Distinction to the following students: Michelle Hodges, Sean Johnson, Jill Kohlert, Stacy Shanholtz, George Ann Lucas, Terry Shevel, Melissa Smeltzer, and Julie Wallace. You're going to have to get home with all of your names. Wait a minute. Congratulations. Okay, Jill Kohler. Congratulations. Julie. Congratulations. Yes, George. Congratulations. Congratulations. Many different talents are being recognized this morning. I also have the pleasure of presenting the Dustin Kramer Memorial Award. This award is presented in memory of Dustin, who graduated from our automotives program. It is presented annually to the student who has demonstrated outstanding work ethic as well as attitude and achievement. This year's recipient has exemplified these criteria. He has worked hard to learn and to learn his craft well. He has demonstrated his ability by scoring 293 points out of a possible 300 on the state exam in automotives, and by applying his skills on the job. I am very proud to announce this year's recipient of the Dustin Kramer Memorial Award, Mr. Ernie Shook.
people will present awards to teachers in recognition of their outstanding service in education. Mr. Stan Kuhn will present the Outstanding Science Teacher Award and awards to retiring teachers. Dr. Joe Webb will present the special recognition, and Ms. Lisa Benya will present the National Honor Society Outstanding Teacher.
It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here today, and it's also a pleasure to present this award. Wadsworth has a reputation for having an outstanding faculty, and it's due to people like the person who is going to receive this award this morning. The award is presented by the National Science Foundation and the National Aeronautical and Space Administration, and this gentleman was selected as one of 208 outstanding science teachers in the nation to participate in a special training program. And I repeat that, he was one of 208 out of the nation that were selected to participate in this program. So it's with a great deal of pleasure that I'd like to present this award to Mr. Larry Varner. Congratulations. Man, it must be nice to have a cheering section like that. The next award, I'm really not all that happy about presenting. We're going to recognize two of our teachers that are going to retire, and I'm really not all that crazy about having them retire. They were two outstanding teachers here at Wadsworth. I'm sure that all of the students recognize that, and the fellow staff members also recognize that they were outstanding teachers, and we're certainly going to see them leave. One of the things that they always did was keep the administration humble around here, particularly Mrs. Linson. Would you please? Whenever administrators started getting too big for their britches, June was around to cut them down a notch or two, and I'm sure Joe will miss her greatly. The other one is Mrs. Johnson.
To your left.
Oh, she taught one of my favorite programs here, which was the Teacher's Aid program. Did an excellent job all these years. My daughter was a graduate of that program before your time. And we're certainly going to miss her. I wish that I could have something more than a plaque to give you today, but our funds are limited here at Wadsworth. But I would like to present each of you with this plaque to remember us by in the years of retirement. We hate to see you go, but we all have to go someday.
Thank you.
I have to stay up here. You don't say anything nasty, Joe.
He just told me not to say anything nasty. It's really nice to have him here like this and that I'm speaking. You know, when you students, some of you that call me at 10:30 at night or 11 o'clock, and it's a snowy night and there's about a foot of snow on the ground, and you're asking me, Dr. Webb, is there going to be school tomorrow? I have no power over this. It's always this guy that would call school off or not call it off most of the time. And in fact, there's a story around which they called him, and some students have told me this, that some students called him Klondike Coon. So I sometimes believe that myself when I have to come to school no matter what. So anyhow, this is the guy. Next year it'll be Charles Parsons that you should call.
Give them Charles's phone number so they all have it.
It's in the phone book. Wadsworth is a proud community, and a major source of this pride is our school system. Mr. Kuhn, it is a pleasure for me, on behalf of the professional staff and students, to present to you, our superintendent, with this plaque recognizing 35 years of educational service to the Wadsworth City Schools. Thank you for a job well done.
Oh, thank you. I would like to thank Dr. Webb and the staff and everyone connected with this plaque. It's beautiful. It's something nice to show your grandchildren that somebody did think you weren't too bad after all. On a serious note, one thing I'd like to know before I leave is who was that student out there that used to call my house every time it snowed and want to know if that dummy was going to call school out and then hang up? That's him? No, really, I appreciate having the opportunity to meet with you this morning and express my sincere thanks for your cooperation. Wadsworth has a wonderful reputation as a school system. It's primarily due to the student body we have here. You are a wonderful group of kids, as I said in my letter of resignation to the Board of Education. Anyone who can spend 35 years working with young people is indeed fortunate. Anyone who can spend those 35 years working with the young people of Wadsworth is especially fortunate, because you are a tremendous group of young people. It's been that way ever since I have been here, and I think you get better every year in spite of what you may read in the newspapers from time to time. I think students are better this year than they were 20 years ago. I'd like to thank the parents over there. You play a great role in what happens in the school system because of the type of product you send us to work with. We certainly appreciate it, and I hope you'll keep it up. I'd like to thank the faculty and the staff. We have a tremendous staff here in our school system. Any place you go, they will tell you that. And thank the Board of Education and all the other administrators and anyone I may have forgotten to thank. But it's been a wonderful 35 years, and I do it all over again. And I just wish Mr. Parsons all the luck in the world. I'm sure he'll do a fine job in the future. And I'll look forward to following the progress of Wadsworth Schools for the next 20 years, I hope. Thank you.
Every year, National Honor Society is called upon to single out one teacher who demonstrates extreme concern for the students and attempts to push each student to the highest level of his or her ability. The teacher chosen this year does just this. This individual obtained her bachelor's degree at Kent State University and returned, securing her master's in English in 1975. She began her teaching career at Wadsworth High School in 1971. Since that time, she has taught freshman honors English, sophomore and junior academic Englishes, and senior composition. She also teaches freshman English composition at Akron University. Aside from these, she has found time to write and publish her own book entitled Grammar That Makes Sense. It is my pleasure to announce this year's outstanding teacher, Miss Rohr.
I would like to thank the National Honor Society for this award. My seniors know, they've heard me tell them a million times, that I believe learning is important, and that's why I'm here. Every teacher I have ever had has become a part of my experience. Every class I have ever taken has become a part of that which I am. I would encourage all of you to continue to learn as long as you live, because by increasing your experience, you increase that which you are. People can take your money, People can take your property. People can take anything from you. However, something that can never be denied to you is that which is inside. And by studying and learning and striving to excel, you will continually increase that which you are. To the senior class, you have been a great challenge to me. I've said many times that I have worked harder this year after 15 years than I've ever worked before. However, I must say that you have definitely been the most delightful group of young people I have ever worked with. And I would encourage you to continue to share your cooperation and your marvelous attitudes with your future teachers. The only reason I've been able to accomplish with you that which I have this year is the fact that you let me teach. You let me work with you. You took me away from the position of disciplinarian and allowed me to be your teacher. And that's very important to do for all of your future teachers. Because of this, I thank you very much.
Okay, we'll take 3 minutes to change the presenters. It'll take about 3 minutes for us to change seats, okay? Where'd you gonna go?
The following people will present the awards to students who have excelled in athletics. Presenting these awards are Mr. Leggett, the National Powerlifting, Mr. Glenn Wojak, the H.J. Hall Memorial, the Helen Allen Liebert Memorial will be presented by Mr. Anthony Paglia, Major Ron Shin will present the Scholar Athletes Award, Mr. Don McGill will present the Tony Detweiler Memorial, and Mr. Ty Powers will present Outstanding Athletes Awards.
The young lady that I'm about to introduce is already quite familiar to many of you. This year, she has gained national recognition for her accomplishments in national powerlifting. Her accomplishments include the Teenage National Championship for 2 consecutive years. This year, she also became the Women's National Champion. In the process, she has set 4 national records, was chosen Outstanding Teenage Lifter during the competition, and currently is ranked #1 in the National Drug-Free Powerlifting Association in her weight class, and just this past week was featured in Faces in the Crowd in Sports Illustrated. It is indeed a pleasure to introduce Wadsworth High School's own national champion, Lisa Bailey.
I'm honored to come up here this time each year to give away a watch, which represents the H.J. Hall Award. The award is named after the former publisher of the News Banner who originated it. Each year, an outstanding senior athlete who is lettered in football and one other varsity sport is selected to receive this honor. He's chosen by a vote of the coaches and the lettermen at this school, who judge him not only on athletic ability, but also for his display of team spirit, clean play, leadership on and off the field, and sound classroom work. This year's winner meets all those high standards on which the award is based. He was a star on the football field and on the wrestling mat, and is highly respected by his teachers and peers. I'm happy to present the 40th H.J. Hall Award to Mike Garn.
Good morning. First, I'd like to congratulate all the award winners this morning. Particularly, I'd like to congratulate their parents for having put up with them for 17 years. 18 for some of them. Anyway, congratulations, and I challenge a lot of the juniors that are here this morning to pay attention to some of the outstanding awards that you can be aware of for next year. At this time, I'd like to present a special award, memorial award. It's called the Helen Allen Liebert Award. It's a memorial award for a young lady athlete who graduated from Wadsworth High School in 1933. She was an outstanding female athlete before female athletics was recognized in high school sports. At one time, she played tennis at such a degree that she beat a Wimbledon champ. She played volleyball, golf, she swam, she was an excellent gymnast, and she was also able to go into professional ice skating. This award is given to the outstanding senior female athlete who participated in either basketball, cross country, volleyball, tennis, gymnastics, swimming, track, or softball. It's to recognize the young lady who has a varsity award her senior year and who was also lettered in another varsity sport during her high school career. This award is given in recognition of good athletic ability, sound moral character, leadership, cooperation, team play, and academic classroom work of a C average or better. This time I'd like to present the award to Miss Nan Meyer. Nan?
Good morning. I'm an officer in the Army Reserve, and I'm the executive officer of the 3rd Battalion, 92nd Artillery in Akron. And in that capacity, I'm here today to continue what has become an important tradition at Wadsworth High by presenting 2 outstanding students with Army Reserve National Scholar Athlete Awards. The 2 students whom the Army Reserve is honoring have achieved academic excellence in addition to being fine athletes. They have found a good balance in their lives, having earned an outstanding record in both scholastic achievement and in sports. I'm happy to be here to give them special recognition for their accomplishments. This award honors the mental quickness needed to be an outstanding scholar and the agility and skill needed to excel in athletics. The National Scholar Athlete Award was created 6 years ago by the Army Reserve to honor top students. This year we are honoring the 50,000th winner of the Scholar Athlete Award. So today's winners join a long list of students who have distinguished themselves as team captains, debate champions, student officers, community leaders, and Olympic athletes. One 1985 winner, for example, was Jenna Johnson, who won a gold medal in the on the U.S. synchronized swimming team and a silver medal in the 100-meter butterfly at the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. I'll ask Sergeant Randy Stillings to join me in presenting these medals. He's well known to some of you, at least the 10 who have already signed up to join the Army after you graduate later this month. Please join me in a round of applause to salute the 1986 Army Reserve National Scholar Athlete Award winners from Wadsworth High. They are Lisa Benya and Craig Hart.
Good morning. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be here today to present the next award, the Tony Detweiler Award. But before I name the recipient this year, I want to read a short paragraph which kind of describes who Tony Detweiler was and the type of individual who they choose. He fits these categories. Tony Detweiler. He was an active and admired leader in athletics and organization. He was a likable young man with a ready smile. When things were at its lowest, he was always there, helping, encouraging, laughing, but most of all, he was our friend, and we shall miss him. To the athlete who earns this honor, may he walk taller, holding his head a little higher, and forever be proud to have received this award in Tony's name. The award goes this year to Mr. Mike Garn.
Good morning. I'm here to present the Outstanding Senior Athlete for Boys and Girls. The criteria of the selection is that any head coach may nominate an athlete. The commission consisted of a chairperson, be it the principal or an assistant, 2 head coaches, 1 assistant coach, and 1 guidance representative. I'd like to start off with the female Outstanding Athlete of the Year. She has acquired 7 letters in her years at Wadsworth High School. The first letter in volleyball in 1984, 1 letter in soccer. She also became the Northeastern Ohio Soccer League first team. She was co-captain in 1985 and most valuable player in 1985. Basketball, she earned 2 letters. She was All Suburban Conference 2 years, 84-85 and 85-86. She is the leading scorer for 1985-86 season, also All Medina County and Most Valuable Player. She has also earned 3 track letters and at this time is the leading scorer on the track team. I would like to present to you Jeannie Riley, the 1986 Outstanding Athlete. The Outstanding Male Athlete has earned 9 letters. One of the highest letter outputs, I believe, in Wadsworth history. The letters have been earned in soccer, 3. He has been named to the Akron Division First Team, 1985. All Medina County, 1985. Tri-captain of the team for 85. He's also earned letters in football. at the same time that he was competing in soccer. He is a second-team kicker in '85, and he has also earned 4 track letters, and he is third in team scoring in 1985. I present to you Blake Kearns.
The final awards of recognition are received by students who excel in leadership and character. Presenting these awards are Mrs. Sharon Gandy, Students of the Month, Mr. Roger Greckney, the I Dare You Award, Mrs. Karen Longfield, the Whisper Outstanding Students, Mr. Bob Brower, the Gyro Club Award, Miss Julia Blonsky, the Women's Leadership Award, Mr. Keith Leggett, the Edward and Arnold Goldstein Memorials, Mr. Robert Gorman, the Jerry Ann Sechrist Memorial, and Mrs. Twyla Toast, the Lori Sechrist Memorial.
First of all, I'd like to offer my congratulations to the class of '86. Good work. The Student of the Month program is sponsored by the Medina County Gazette and the Kiwanis clubs of the area. It was first instituted 10 years ago to honor those students who exemplify the qualities found in those who are outstanding, that is, involvement in activities both in the classroom and outside the classroom. This honor is special because it's a peer recognition program wherein selections are made by a student committee at Wadsworth. We then go to Medina, where our students compete with those of other Medina County schools for county-wide honors for Student of the Month, again conferred by students. This year we had 2 winners at the county level. Before we call forward those who were recognized this year, I'd like to thank this year's Student Selection Committee, juniors Lynn Falanga, Doug Lamiel, Wendy Wilcox, and seniors Ginger Boyce, Lisa Benya, and Seth Gammon. Also, it's a tribute to the class of '86 that there were still worthy students available when we ran out of months in which to confer these awards. If the juniors who are presenting the awards would come forward to the stage, we'll honor those. For October, the selections were Brian Fath and Beth Allen. For November, Rob Blake and Ginger Boyce. Ginger was also a winner at the county-wide level. For December, Seth Gammon and Elaine Ott. For January, Jerry Carino and Stacy Clark. For February, Craig Hart and Jeannie Riley. For March, Tom Walker and Lisa Benya. Lisa was also a winner at the county-wide level. For April, Tom Postak and Bridget Bedoin. And for May, Jeff Sarver and Leanne Tittle. The winner of the County-wide Student of the Year will be announced next Tuesday, and hopefully our 2 competitors will represent us well. Thank you.
Wake up, juniors. This is one of your big opportunities. Now let's face it, juniors, by now you've figured out the main reason you're here is to help fill up the gym, right? We'd rather have you here than the sophomores or the freshmen. So what do? You sit here and you make the applause louder while the class of '86 walks off with all the recognition. Well, the I Dare You Award, sponsored by the American Youth Foundation, was begun 45 years ago by William H. Danforth, founder of the Ralston Purina Company. It is presented annually at approximately 5,000 high schools in the United States. 2 members of the junior class are selected on the basis of leadership qualities and personal integrity by a committee of teachers and counselors. The I Dare You Award is offered as recognition of excellence in character, balanced personal development, and demonstrated qualities of constructive leadership. Unquestionably, one of the most prestigious awards that a junior may receive, the I Dare You Award is more than an award, more than an end in itself. It is also a challenge, a dare to its recipients to continue to grow and develop, to continue to provide positive leadership, to achieve their own highest potential, and to influence others through lives of service and responsible citizenship. It is a credit to our junior class that the selection committee for the I Dare You Award did not suffer from a shortage of worthy nominees. The difficult part was choosing only 2 of them. With a great deal of pleasure, I announce the recipients of the 1986 I Dare You Award, 2 outstanding individuals and 2 of my favorite people, Lynn Falanga and Mike Moffett.
Years ago, this award started out as the annual queen, Miss Whisper. In the 70s, it changed its name to Outstanding Seniors. It now honors 1 young man and 1 young lady from the senior class that have been outstanding, and it has taken 12 years to earn this award. It's very special. It's given by you, the class of '86. It goes to one of your own, and you pick them. Everyone is in the competition, and only 2 win. And this year, I'm delighted to honor Tom Postak and Lisa Benya as your outstanding seniors.
The Wadsworth Gyro Club Memorial Award is presented annually to a Wadsworth High School graduating senior who has demonstrated a consistent attitude of leadership and who has exhibited tolerance, understanding, helpfulness, and concern for others. This year's recipient of the Gyro Club Memorial Award will receive a check for $100, and his name has been placed on the Gyro Memorial plaque for permanent display here at the high school. This year's winner has received letters for baseball and football, currently ranks 46th in his class academically, and is planning to further his education at the University of Akron in the study of engineering. It gives me great pleasure to present this year's Gyro Memorial Award to Mark Lutz.
Leadership Award is presented annually by the Student Council to a female member of the senior class. It is usually presented by last year's recipient, but she couldn't be with us today. The person selected this year has demonstrated leadership qualities and also great character qualities. She has served as this year's Student Council Secretary and has been a very dependable person and a reliable person. She's also made my first year as Student Council Advisor a little easier and a little more enjoyable. I'm proud to say that this year's recipient of the Women's Leadership Award is Miss Leanne Kalbetzer.
The Goldstein Award originated in 1959 following the death of Mr. Edward R. Goldstein. The Goldstein family owned and operated a pharmacy in downtown Wadsworth where they employed students from Wadsworth High School. In 1964, the Goldstein's son, Arnold Goldstein, died while serving as a flight surgeon with the U.S. Naval Air Force. At that time, the family decided to establish a second award. Today, that tradition has continued as we recognize two senior boys for leadership, scholarship, and involvement in activities. It gives me great pleasure to present the Goldstein Awards to Tom Walker and Tom Postak.
Good morning. I feel very fortunate to be presenting the Jerry Ann Siegrist Award. I was fortunate enough to know Jerry Ann. She was a student in my class, and at first I didn't think, she was such an extraordinary lady. She was a good writer. But during the senior year, when we discovered that she was fighting a real heavy problem with cancer, we on the faculty felt bad, but Jerry just showed so much courage, and it's kind of hard to say what it was about her. Her whole senior class loved her, and we all loved her too. And she was never down. People would complain about having a cold or their ankle hurt, and Jerry had, serious problems, but she was so courageous and she was so inspiring and so full of love for all of her senior class that it made our problems kind of pale to insignificance. She was a really neat lady. And I really feel fortunate to be able to present this award to the senior girl that is that kind of girl, that when things are tough, she's smiling and kind of lifts us all and gives us a lot of encouragement and doesn't really kind of blow her own horn or make much noise about herself. It is with a wait for the bell here. It is with really great pleasure that I present the Jerry Ann Siegrist Award to Miss Lisa Benya.
One of the things that makes life very special is the sum total of all those loving people that you meet as a part of it. I was fortunate, too, to have had both Jerry Ann Siegrist and Lori Siegrist as students. More than that, I was fortunate to have had them as friends, and especially in the case of Lori, whom I followed even after she left me as a student. Like Jerry Ann, Lori, too, was a victim of cancer. Two very precious young ladies who fought very valiant battles and who did it without drawing any special kind of sympathy or playing any kind of poor me record. She was a loving, strong, and beautiful young lady who loved her Lord more than she loved life, and who found that by being willing to stand for something, she was indeed dying for something too. She made a very grave and beautiful testimony to the fact that love lasts. She was a beautiful individual in many ways. The thing that I most admire is the fact that she was willing to let her light shine. She was willing to be who she was and suffer what she had and not ask any sympathy or offer any apology for it. She was a friendly, sweet, and loving girl. I loved her. And I'm proud to recognize a senior girl this year who has much of the same spirit that Lori exhibited. A lot of the goodness and a lot of the warmth. And I appreciate that in Ellie Ott.
Before I close, I would like to have Doug Carlson and Mike Moffett and Jim Gaskell please stand. Would you please stand? These three students are participating this Saturday in the regional tennis tournament in Sandusky, Ohio, and we're going to hope that they go on to the state and we'll all be there. Congratulations. There were many awards presented today. With hard work and dedication, everyone can be successful. There were many positive happenings here today. However, we must remember that an award is only one form of recognition. Sometimes a smile or a simple thank you or a well done is worth more than an award. Students who receive the awards, parents, and presenters are invited to a reception in the library. You will also see in the library our award-winning students' artwork on display. And thank you, please, thank you for being a fine audience. We really appreciate it. And all other students, please report to your third period class.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for the 4 years we have shared together. May you bless us as we begin to hear this. Amen.
Please join us in our call to worship. Oh, come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. For the Lord is a great God, a great King above all gods. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord, our Master. Please join me in the prayer our Lord first taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Mark 9, verse 23. As we join together in his name, we reflect on our past years at Wadsworth High School. Special memories come to our minds and warm smiles we see on our faces. Thoughts filled with laughter and tears become part of us today. They are our past. This is our future. We will never forget each friend, each day, each memory. But we will now start over in a new direction, the right direction, a poem by Harriet Knowledge. Set your face in the direction of some fine and worthwhile thing. Give yourself a goal to reach for, something worth mastering. Though it looks beyond your grasp, and hopeless it may often seem, do not turn away discouraged. Keep your eyes upon your dream.
to mirror this about 2 years. By the end of this month of June, I will be leaving Wadsworth for another job, another ministry, another work. And I know both the sense of pain that we all feel when we have to leave something that we have enjoyed and so much a part of our lives. And yet I also know the joy of anticipation that comes at such a time as this, as you look forward to that which is yet to be. None of you really know what is yet to be, any more than I do. But we can look forward with joy. For you, life after next Sunday's commencement will never be the same. You have already experienced many changes in your life. You have moved from dependency as an infant to independence as a young adult. Each step in life as you mature brings with it both pain and pleasure. It's hard to leave the old familiar, but it's also fun to anticipate the future, what is yet to be done. I speak to you tonight from a Christian perspective. I believe in a God who is both the creator and the sustainer. The Bible tells us that God created the world, the heavens and the earth. And that he looked out and he saw that they were good. But he didn't stop there. He remained with that which he created, to support, to love, to guide, to direct. I believe that God is very personally and very intimately involved in our lives. Above all, that he seeks for our best. Always. But he doesn't do it for us. He doesn't do it for us. What he does is give us the brains and he gives us the tools so that we can live our life, the life that we are given, so that we can enjoy fulfillment and so that we can experience happiness. No one will ever force you to become what you are capable of becoming. Not even God. But you see, God has already given you the tools and the equipment to accomplish that if you choose to use them. Just remember this. You don't have to do it alone. In fact, you can't do it all alone. John Donald said that no man is an island unto himself. You are a part of everything you've ever been and done, and all of that is also a part of you. All the people who have helped you along the way are now a part of you. Parents, teachers, friends, family. But you are free to choose what you make of all of this. What you do, what you have been given. Just remember this. God is always with you. Ready to help you, ready to cry with you, ready to laugh with you, ready to rejoice with you, ready to give you all that you need to fulfill your life. You are never alone, nor do you ever have to feel that you have to do whatever you are called to do alone. There's something else I want to read with you tonight. I hope you'll remember it. For those of you who may not be, our town is a play about a simple everyday event in a small town called Grover's Corners in the state of New Hampshire around the turn of the century. It is my favorite play, my favorite drama. In this play, Emily dies at the age of 26, giving birth to her second child. In the final act of that play, those of you who've seen it will remember this, we find ourselves at the graveyard on a hill outside of Grover's Corners, as the families and the friends of Emily gather to lay to rest the body of this woman who they have loved so much. There's both joy and sorrow for Emily as she joins her loved ones who have died before her. There is the joy of reunion, seeing people that she hasn't seen for a long time. And yet there is a sense of deep sadness that Emily has to leave those who she loves so much. It's a very difficult moment. Emily is torn between the longing to go back and the discovery that life after death is even more meaningful and lovely than the life she lived. But you know, the longing to go back overcomes her. She discovers that it is possible to return to life. They warn her that it will not be a happy experience, but she decides to return anyway. So she is advised to pick some ordinary day to relive, because she will not only be reliving that day, see, but she will also be watching the events as they happen. So Emily picks her 12th birthday, a man of some 14 years previous. So we see her return to her past to a cold morning in 1899. As she watches the scene unfold, the day is just beginning. Her mother comes downstairs to make breakfast. Her father comes in from his morning chores. The conversation is like conversation in almost any home on any typical morning. There is a call of mother to their children to get up or else they will be late for school. There's a small talk between father and mother. There's a scolding finally by mother of her children. We've all experienced something like that. Emily is, of course, a part of it, but she is also watching what is happening. It becomes for her an increasingly difficult situation. And then suddenly in wonder and in grief, Emily cries out, I can't bear it. I can't bear it. They're so young and beautiful. Why did they ever have to grow old? Mama, I'm here. I'm grown up. I love you all, everything. And she looks around and she says, there's Mr. Morgan's drugstore. And there's a preschool. And there's the congregational church where I got married. Then looking at her mother, she says, oh, Mom, just look at me 1 minute as though you really saw me. 14 years have gone by. I'm dead. You're a grandmother. I married George Gibb. But just for a moment, we're all together. Just for a moment, we're happy. Let's look at one another. Then she breaks down in tears and says, I didn't realize. So all that was going on, and I never noticed. Take me back up the hill to my grave. But first, wait, one more look. Goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Mom, Dad. Goodbye to clocks ticking and Mama's sunflowers and food and coffee and new iron dresses and hot baths and sleeping and waking up. Then she says those words that are so oh, Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you. fill you with which we can all stand for the benediction. Now may you go in peace. May God's blessings fill you, go with you, now and forevermore.
Let us stand for prayer. Let us pray. Father God, these are very special and precious moments we spend together this afternoon. This is the culmination of the commitment and labors of many, students, teachers, parents, and many, many others. Thank you for this time to celebrate, and bless what we do together. Move in our midst as we share the joy of the day. May all be done to your glory and honor. Amen. You may be seated.
Dear graduates, parents, faculty, and distinguished guests, I would like to introduce you to the graduating class of 1986. This is a unique class which has earned many achievements in academics, sports, and other extracurricular activities. Not all of these achievements have come easily. Many of the students you now see before you have had to risk the chance of failure and disappointment, but in the tradition of Wadsworth High School, they have always prevailed. We now look at Wadsworth High School as a part of our past, but it wasn't that long ago when it was a part of our beginning. We arrived with many doubts and fears for our future, but found ourselves challenged for the present. We are a graduating class unafraid of challenges, and will continue to question and doubt the world around us as we grow and become more experienced. Many of the problems we have faced are growing social changes, such as the dress code, the drinking age, and sexual permissiveness. We, the class of 1986, because of past experiences and an excellent education, feel that we are prepared to face the challenges of the future. For every 2 steps a man takes forward, he may have to take a step back. We face a future which looms before us. We will make a pledge to our school, parents, faculty, and to our community to make our lives filled with pride for the past, but never unafraid to look forward to the future. To quote an old folk song from the 60s, those who are not busy being born are busy dying. So remember, failure is a part of growth, and growth is a part of learning, and learning is always a part of life. I would like to thank our parents, educators, and friends who have helped prepare us for a challenging future. Thank you. We will now have Chris Budorf come and sing Imagine, and he will be accompanied by Linda McNamara.
the honor of being named valedictorian and salutatorian is bestowed on students who have the highest scholastic ranking in the class. These honors are particularly important in our high school because of the high level of academic competition. The individuals who have earned these titles have my respect, the teaching faculty's respect, and the respect of their classmates. The salutatorian with the second highest scholastic ranking is Ginger Boyce. She plans to attend the University of Chicago and major in foreign affairs. While Ginger walks to the podium, I would ask that Mr. and Mrs. Boyce stand, because I know they have given Ginger much support over the years.
Emerson once said, "To believe your own thought, to believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all men, that is genius." Genius is not necessarily a particular IQ level. It is a way of living. It is having enough self-reliance to disregard any outside factors that don't complement one's own beliefs. It is a trusting in oneself so completely that other people's doubts don't overpower one's own personal beliefs. It is the conquering of fears so that nothing can hinder service to others. It is being a practical idealist, a person who comprehends reality yet still dreams. It is possessing an ability to do what is personally right. It is, in a sense, nonconformity. A person who is self-reliant is not prejudiced. He has an ability to look beyond stereotypes and the roles people set for themselves. He is gracious when defeated. He still exhibits courage. When victorious, he is still humble. He doesn't wallow in self-pity, and he doesn't brag about his accomplishments. The self-reliant individual always strives to do his best, even when less would do. He takes pride in his work. He views situations with an understanding that transcends simple facts. He is always willing to help people, not because he wants to control them, nor because he wants any credit, but simply to help. He does not slanderize because he is secure enough in himself to dispense with any need to down anyone else. He never judges people's weaknesses, but understands them so that he can help them to grow. He is Christ-like, no matter if he is a Christian or not a Christian. In short, he believes his own thoughts, and he believes that what is true for himself in his private heart is true for all men. Every individual can be a genius. Gail Baker Stanton wrote an excellent parody on Rudyard Kipling's poem, If, that effectively describes a genius. If you can trust yourself though others doubt you, and conquer fears that limit what you dare, so you can freely give to those about you the skills and talents that are yours to share. If you can live not for your pleasure only, but gladly lend your gentleness and grace to warm the hearts of those whose lives are lonely and help to make their world a better place. If you can balance dreams with practicality and deal in facts but never lose ideals. If you can face the harshness of reality and find the truths that prejudice conceals. If you can be courageous when defeated and humble in the face of victory, or give your best until a task completed, however difficult that task may be. If you can temper facts with understanding and seek to gently guide, not to control, and neither be too lax nor too demanding, but keep in mind the worth of every soul. If you can strive, not caring who gets credit, and work at building bridges and not walls, or hearing idle slander, just forget it, and never fail to help someone who falls. If you can give your help without begrudging the patience, time, and effort you impart, or look at others' weaknesses without judging, and see not with your eyes, but with your heart. If you can take resources that surround you and use them in the way that you feel you should, you'll be a genius, and all those around you will be the richer for your geniushood.
This year's valedictorian is also a talented and successful young lady. She plans to attend Miami University. Her accomplishments thus far are many. Beth Allen was also a National Merit Finalist, a member of the swim team, concert and marching band. I'm proud to introduce this year's valedictorian, Beth Allen. Would Mr. and Mrs. Allen please stand as their daughter walks to the podium?
Good afternoon, fellow graduates, parents, friends, teachers, and administrators. Heraclitus is recording as having said, "Nothing endures but change." As we, the class of 1986, look back on our lives, it is easy for us to realize that we have gone through many changes. Whether it was just adapting from middle school to high school, or breaking up with our boyfriends or girlfriends, or even moving to another city, we have all endured some type of change. In addition to the small alterations in our individual lives, society is altered. Women have gained more rights in today's culture, and certainly the increase in technology has affected and will continue to affect our lives. Any way we look at it, change is an essential part of life. As we leave here today, we will each face a tremendous challenge. Some of us will go off to new jobs, or to raise young families, or even off to college and beyond. No matter which direction we go, we all have one thing in common. That is, that whatever we do will be entirely different from anything we have already experienced. An important part of what we are about to experience is the risk involved. We will all be taking a great risk in venturing into our new lives, but this risk is essential to the change itself. In Dr. Wayne Dyer's book, "What Do You Really Want for Your Children?" he reminds us that in 1927, Babe Ruth hit 60 home runs, more than anyone in the history of baseball. He also set another record that year. He struck out more than anyone in the history of baseball. To me, this says that if we want to succeed in our new lives, we must take the chance that we will fail before we succeed completely. This is evident in other situations also. For example, if Elizabeth Cady Stanton and her colleagues have been afraid to take risks, the opportunities for women today might be non-existent. Or, if Martin Luther King Jr. had not been willing to risk his life, the civil rights movement in the 1960s would have been without a definitive leader and thus would probably have crumbled. Although the risks involved in what we are about to face are probably not as dangerous as King's, or as revolutionary as Elizabeth Cady Stanton's, or as widely scrutinized as Babe Ruth's, we will have to take chances. There's a certain risk involved in exercising our independence as adults. All of us take the chance that we might fail. As Bruce Barton said, action and reaction, ebb and flow, trial and error, change, this is the rhythm of living. Although essential to our lives, change can sometimes bring about pain. The philosopher Carlyle is credited with having said, "Change indeed is painful, yet ever needful." Many of us are now experiencing sorrow over the thought of leaving our friends and the familiar surroundings of our high school world. Yet we also know that it is time for us to enter a new phase of our life, in which comfortable surroundings become merely memories. Although graduation is the proper occasion to look back and remember the good and possibly the bad times, we must keep in mind that the word commencement means beginning, the beginning of a new and exciting time in our lives. One thing that has helped me to prepare for this change in my life is moving from state to state. Moving places you in a position where you must make new friends and adapt to different surroundings. I have moved twice in my life. Even though I had quickly adjusted to the first move, I dreaded the thought of moving again. However, later I came to realize that although it was difficult leaving old friends, the experience of meeting new people and the chance to try different things is extremely valuable. Looking back, I would not have missed those opportunities for anything. They have taught me a great deal and have introduced me to some wonderful people that I probably would not have met otherwise. As we leave here today, we should each look forward to the new challenges that we will face, whether they be going to college, beginning new families, or entering the job market. We should look upon these challenges as opportunities to learn and to grow. Remember always your good times at Wadsworth High School, but also remember that a trip to nostalgia now and then is good for the spirit as long as you don't set up housekeeping. In other words, what Bartolovic is trying to say is remember the past, but don't live in it. The Chinese philosopher Confucius said, "They must change who would be constant in happiness or wisdom." Remember this as you venture into your new lives. Finally, I would like to say good luck to all of you and God bless. Thank you.
We will now have Diane Foraker recite the senior poem.
As we reach out our hand, the diploma we grasp, while we think of the memories of the years in the past. Tears fill our eyes because it's all gone. We're starting new life and we have to move on. We hope friends will keep in touch as the years pass us by. Although it hurts inside, we'll try not to cry. We think of our times together and our first day. Now we've reached the end and we are going away. How do you say goodbye to the friends who mean so much? Will there be time to sincerely keep in touch? You always have the memories of your school years from day one. Don't think of school as ending. Think a new life has begun.
This year, we have been fortunate to have 4 foreign exchange students. They are seated in the first and second rows. I would like to introduce them to you. As I do, would their American families please stand? Tony Akalita, please stand. She comes to us from Mexico. She has lived with Mr. and Mrs. Moon. They stand, please. Thank you. Via Cochin, please stand. She comes to us from Switzerland. She has lived with Mr. and Mrs. Bossart. Would they please stand? Ole Jensen comes to us from Denmark. He has lived with Mr. and Mrs. Blake. Please stand. Marianne Latta comes to us from Finland. She has lived with Mr. and Mrs. Johnston. They please stand. At this time, I should like to recognize a class of 1936. Would the members of this class please stand? Stay up. Please. This class marks it marks the 50th anniversary of this group of citizens, and we are glad that you're here. Please be seated. I would also like to recognize Bill Heil. Would he please stand? In this class, he is the past board treasurer and the grandfather of Shelley Klein from the class of 1986. Would she please stand? Also, Alice Brown. Would she stand, please? She's the grandmother of Amy Warner from the class of 1986. Would she stand? Margaret and Louis Lutz. Would you stand, please? Grandson of Mark Lutz. Would he stand, please? Also, as I was surveying that sheet, we have Rex McIlvain. Would he stand? I told him I'd make him stand. He's our former athletic director. Glad to have you here. Also, Bob Fail. Would he stand? Is he here today? Bob's not here. He's our bus transportation supervisor. We're also glad to have him in that class. That's a great class. Thank you. Mr. Kuhn, the students before you have earned the credits to be graduated as prescribed by the Wadsworth Board and the Ohio State Board of Education. At this time, I present the 1986 class to you.
Thank you, Dr. Webb. It is indeed a pleasure to accept this class. I would like to congratulate the members of the class. You are certainly an outstanding group of young people, and I want you to know that your school system is extremely proud of you, and I think if we continue to turn out young people like this, I don't fear for the future of our country. At this time, presenting the diplomas will be Board President Sandy Solero, Board Member Mr. William Alsass. They will be assisted by the Treasurer of the Board, Mr. George Meyer. And now, if the class will prepare for the presentation of diplomas.
Okay, before we do this, I have several announcements. One being that anyone that's wishing to take pictures, please do so over here to the right. Also, please hold your applause until all the graduates have received their diplomas. And then finally, I'm asking that everyone please remain seated until all the graduates have exited the gym. Also, if you have cable TV this evening at 5 o'clock, you may see this graduation televised on Warner Cable, Channel 7. That's an unpaid political announcement, by the way. Okay. Well, you guys stay here. We're going to move this over here. Put this on here? You want that left on there? We'll slide through over to here. We're going to move it over to here. This is going to take both mics off. Give me something to write on. Put the mic on right here. You didn't tell us you were going to do this. Oh, what's going on? That's all right. Okay.
Lisa Bradley. Elizabeth Marguerite Brandenstein. Christian Dale Oil. Michelle Suzanne Meyer. Leanne Joyce Calvez. Julie Ann Carter. Jesse Louise Cartwright. Stephanie Lynn Cash. Tracy Lynn Cash. Bradley Evan Hunter. Shelley Ann Lyon. Linda Roberts. Brian Ray Millett. Shelley Renee Cobb. Sherry Renee Cobb. William Alvin Conrad. Timothy William Conrad. Aaron Gail Conrad. Kelly Joanne Poole. Daniel Thomas Perez. Sarah Virginia West. Kimberly Ann Collins. Brian Bradley. Louis Cummings. Blake A. Curran. Steve Custer. Eric A. Dale. Kathleen Lando. Gary James Davis. Gerald Stephen Davis. T. Joe Davis. Christy Lane Zeller. Becky G. Denny. Holly J. Denny. Kelly G. Vick. Jody C. Dickerson. Gary Michael Nicolito. Beth Ann Easterby. Robert Eckroyd. David Reed Eddy. Charles James Kelly. Ryan David Ellsworth. Robert L. Egbert II. Tina Marie Farnsworth. Mindy Ann Davis. Curtis D. Bernal. Thomas Andrew Pitt. Lisa Ann Block. David Allen Foster. Vicki Frances Fowler Lance. Gardner. Timothy Michael Gardner. Michael Joseph Gardner. James E. Castro. Margaret Ellen Rapp. Ronald L. Gray. Michael Carl Green. Robert Lee Greer. Jennifer Denise Ross. Jeff Aguilar. William Patrick Hall. Christina Gail Hank. Tracy N. Hank. Timothy Allen Parker. Christina Michelle Parker. Michael Allen Parker. Pete Edward Parker. Gerald Smith Parker. Linda Gerald Patton. Holly Lynn Hathaway. Carla Faye Hathaway. Sharon Sue Howard. Kenneth Edward Gates. Robert Charles Miller. Eric David Evans. Troy Adam Hoosier. Tina M. Rosa. Nancy G. Housen. Jerry Wayne Upton Beck. John C. Joanne Tyler. Michelle Christie Jackson. Bruce W. Davis. John B. Scott. Jeffrey Allen Jones. Anne M. Carroll. Cynthia Marie Eaton. Gary Kelly. Richard Martin Kennedy. Deborah Marie King. Lois L. King. Joseph Michael Curtis. Elaine Marie Hudson. John Paul Mack. Jill Lynn Ford. Michael J. Ford. Earl Kenneth O'Reilly. Ray Again, we offer our thanks and praise to you, O God. We ask your blessing upon all who have shared in this commencement. That your peace fill us, your joy enrich us, and your presence guide us now and forever.